Hello there and welcome to another episode of Studs Up in what is another blockbuster week. So many twists and turns in the Premier League. Thanks again for watching in your tens of thousands as always. All the comments, we will be getting to those in comment of the week as well. But so many narratives, we have to get straight into it. There might be a little bit of chit chat at the start as I introduce my guest here, fresh from asking the nation, has anyone seen Michael Carrick? They still can't find it, but weirdly enough, Paul Scholes has joined the investigation. That's odd, isn't it? It's Jason Cundy.
Gentlemen, how are we?
Very good. How are you?
Up the Chelsea, done all right, didn't we? Big win that. We'll talk about that, yeah.
Yeah, of course. We will get into it. And last week, it was Keown and Goldstein. This week, it's Laura Woods and Pardew. I'm going to make sure by the end of the show, this chap starts beef with a former professional. It's Rory Jennings. How are you?
I'll do it with Jason today.
Yes! Now we're talking.
What, Laura Woods and Pardew? Yeah. I don't know about this.
Woodsy come on the show last night. Yeah, so Pard said if Arsenal win the title, there'll be an asterisk by their name, right? And Woodsy phoned up. And she said it's so disrespectful, and I totally agree with her.
Yeah,
I don't know how you can say there's an asterisk by the title of Arsenal win the title.
Did Laura call up? So if she phoned up because she was so irate with what she heard.
Plus, she wanted to rub Jamie's nose in it.
Yeah, of course. yeah, naturally. Yeah, terrible day for Tottenham. We'll get into that as well.
Yeah, we will definitely. Let's start with. There's a few things we could start with, but I can see you boys are bursting at the seams. Mm-hmm. It was a fantastic result for you guys yesterday.
We played well, you know. I mean, when you concede a goal after 2 minutes, it's not ideal, right?
No, it felt like it was going in the other direction.
And we are not a team that historically deals with setbacks well. We're not. I was so proud how we dealt with that because we were the better side after that. We dealt with that setback, and because it's so early in the game, there was still 90 minutes to play, right? And I was so impressed with how we moved the ball through the thirds. Villa are flat. I said they were flat when they played against Wolves on Friday night. This was a game that we had to go and win. I felt that we could claw that space back. They look more likely to drop out that top 5 race than anyone right now, even though Liverpool lost and so did Man United. Big week for Chelsea, this. But I thought we thoroughly deserved it. And in the end, it could have been 5 or 6. Yeah. We were that good. João Pedro. Don't think there's a better striker in the country right now than him.
I mean, this is the point, though, isn't it? You know when you look at the players that Chelsea have signed over the years, the way that we do it, the way that we like to sign these young players. I've got no issue with signing young players. If you're signing a 23-year-old João Pedro who's a full Brazil international, that's how it works. Go and sign a player like him. It's hardly surprising. He was Premier League proof and he scored massive goals for Brighton. I remember he scored a great goal. He knocked Marseille out of the Europa League when he was playing for Brighton. Yeah. He's a really good player. And it feels like he's got a good partnership with Cole Palmer. And if those two can keep this going, if we keep hold of both of them in the summer, make it into the Champions League. I mean, I'm very surprised because Jason touched on it there. We're not resilient. You know when you look and we're 1-0 down after a couple of minutes, you're thinking, oh, God.
Were you fearing the worst?
Yeah, I was.
There's so much of the game to go. And I said in comms, this game hasn't breathed yet. I don't know what this Chelsea side looks like. And I don't know what this Villa team looks like because they basically had a goal start. Yeah. They've gone into this game, Villa are 1-0 up. Yeah. And we didn't know the patterns of play, how Chelsea were going to adapt. Were Villa worthy of taking a lead? There was a terrible goal conceded. Actually, as the game played out over the next half hour, 40 minutes, coming in towards that half time, it showed me that actually this game we're up for it. Yeah. Villa weren't good enough to be 1-0 up. They had a bit of luck on their part, taking nothing away from the goal. But it told me that we are more than capable of going to win this game, and that's how it played out.
Because he had a bit of a dry spell, João Pedro, I think it kind of... all the conversation about him dimmed down a little bit, didn't it? It was one of those things. But that has got to be one of the best signings of the summer. It has to be. It's one of those signings you look at. Obviously, I'm enjoying Šeško at the moment, and we've talked about what the work Carrick's doing on it. But it's one of those signings you look at and like, why didn't anyone else go in for him? He's such a baller.
Such a class act. Yeah. Like, really, really good player. The variety of goals that he scores, the movement, the way he brings others. It's just a class act. But also, do you know, it's very easy for us, because we scored 4 away from home, it's very easy for us to focus on that. I thought Trevor Chalobah was excellent.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think people are we talk about England, talk about who's going to be going with Thomas Tuchel, who's going to start for England. I think everyone goes Mark Gahey, he's England's best centre half, and I don't think that's really up for debate. But then the +1. I've heard people talking about Harry Maguire, and I don't think that's wild, by the way. But I've heard people talking about Maguire. I've heard people talking about John Stones, despite the fact that he's barely played. There's lots of honourable mentions.
But no one's locked in.
No one's talking about Chalobah, though. No.
He has played for England, of course. He does feel a little bit like he's off the radar slightly. Yeah, but listen, when Chelsea Player of the Year comes out, he'll be in the top 3.
No doubt.
Really?
Yeah. He'll be
you guys obviously know that better than me.
He'll be in the top 3. Okay. Yeah, he might not win it. I think João Pedro will probably go on to win it because he catches the eye.
Who else is in there? Enzo?
No, not for me. Do you know what? Up until against Arsenal,
You're going
I
to
think
Sanchez,
Sanchez had a good season.
Yeah.
And because his mistakes are so high profile, you forget that he's done all right this season.
If your keeper, this is me playing devil's advocate, if your keeper makes high profile mistakes, can he be considered a good goalkeeper?
Every goalkeeper makes mistakes, but the problem he's got is that he's comes off the back of a couple of seasons ago, or last season in particular, where he was guilty of giving the ball away. Arsenal away gave them to Rice, Brighton away, I think it might have been Believe, I can't remember what it was, but these mistakes, when goalkeepers make mistakes, you can see the goal and it's there. You can never erase it.
I agree with you, though, Ryan. I agree with you. Lots of Chelsea fans are very sympathetic towards Robert Sanchez. But I agree with you that he's always a Rizzler paper away from a disaster. And this season, away at Old Trafford, one of our biggest games of the season, we got beat because of him.
Yeah.
Against Arsenal, we got beat because of him. That isn't a good goalkeeper to me. I don't really care what happens. If you have that in you, if you're always capable of pressing the self-destruct button, you aren't really a good enough goalkeeper, because there's always that jeopardy. There's always that chance that you're going to make a pig's ear of a situation, and invariably he does.
Yeah, I don't feel passionate about it, Jace, but I have to say that is where my mind goes. If it's a roulette as to whether your keeper's going to, have a clanger, that kind of uncertainty for the back four even.
Yeah. He's a good number 2.
Yeah, that's probably...
he's a good number 1 for a team with slightly less ambition than Chelsea.
Yeah, sure.
But the problem we've got is because Penders, who's 19, has been out loaned to Strasbourg. It might be too early for him to come in next season.
Yeah.
Then you've got the situation of, do you go and buy a number one? If you do that, then puts Penders... It stunts his growth coming through. It's a big decision the club are going to have to make if they do replace Sanchez, or they stick with him for another season, and then Penders goes back out on loan, comes back in another season's time.
I think it's a very easy decision, though, if you analyse what the ambition of the season is. So if the ambition of the season is to qualify for the Champions League, then I think the model that you've suggested there, Sanchez, Penders, is the right model. If the ambition is to win major silverware, Robert Sanchez can't be your number 1.
No, I'm with you there, Rory. I'm with you.
Win the Club World Cup, though. Just throw that in there.
That is your
major silverware.
I just say the Club World Cup.
I'm going to start making a note of how many times you fall back on that.
No, full back. They've got another 3 years of that. So, what year are we now?
Yeah. Maybe I won't make a note then. That's a long note. Okay, Arsenal, look, it happened. City dropped points, didn't they, against Nottingham Forest? Incredible goal by Gibbs White, by the way. He's the back heel.
And Elliot Anderson.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, absolutely. But Arsenal are now 7 points clear, and it doesn't matter if Man City win that game and beat Arsenal as well. That's the point that we've got to. You've always thought, Jace, that it's Arsenal's title anyway, to be fair.
I just feel that City, and they proved it, the other night against Forest, that they're not defensively strong enough. Yeah. Arsenal went away to Wolves, and they had a little bit of a blip when Wolves called it back from 2-0 down. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I just look at this Arsenal team. They are more complete than any team right now. Yeah. They're coming for a lot of clog. I'm no Arsenal fan, but I will defend some of the criticism they get. But they are the most complete team. They've got the best goalkeeper in the league. You talk about that game against Chelsea Arsenal the other week. The reason we didn't win that is because their goalkeeper is better than our goalkeeper, and they're better at set piece of the week. And they're the difference. I thought we were the better side over the 90 minutes, but that's what comes down to.
Goalkeepers that day, you swap results.
You probably do. I'm not convinced that City are anywhere near the levels they need to be to close the gap on Arsenal. And 7 points at the minute. I mean, there's a long way to go, but I just still think that Arsenal.
What do you think, Rory? You think that's Arsenal's now, or you think there's a lot of football to be played and it's still up for debate?
No, I think it's actually going to. It's 7 points now. I think it gets bigger. Do you know what's going to happen? We've been billing it, haven't we? We've been billing this game at the Etihad as the decider. The game at the Etihad is going to be amazing. All eyes of the world, over 1 billion viewers. Everyone's going to watch a title decider. We're not. Do you know what you're going to watch?
A draw?
You're going to watch Erling Haaland have to give a guard of honour to Victor Gyökeres.
You think? By then?
I mean, it's the 19th of April, that game. It's been moved to the 19th of April. It seems a bit early for that. But I think what Rory's saying is that the points, the difference will be, it won't kind of matter if City win that.
City win the game 4-0 and Arsenal still win the league.
Yeah, I think he might be right,
Oh, it's through gritty teeth, isn't it?
I think he might be right.
It's painful. It's really painful. But I do reluctantly have to agree with Jason. They are the best team in the country.
Do you know what?
The country win the league.
I want to talk about something that it keeps popping up, and the Arsenal fans talk about it, about how there's a media agenda. That's what I've seen recently on Inside Gooners, I think it was recently. There's a media agenda against them. But And I always do raise an eyebrow. I'm like, you're in a title race, and this is always going to happen when you're at the top of the table. And we know we talk about the fan base as well. But I have heard, I mean, like Paul Scholes, for example, which we will come on to Paul Scholes in a moment, because any club can get it with Scholesy. But he said, I don't think either of these teams, City or Arsenal, deserve to win it. You've got Pardew saying there should be an asterisk next to the name. Do you think that they are unfairly targeted? Do you think that is... You don't think so?
They're ugly, though, aren't they? And what Hertzler said, on some level, he is correct. But they shouldn't be bothered by being ugly. For years, we lambasted Arsenal, didn't we? We mocked them, we derided them because they were slightly vulnerable. They weren't sturdy enough. They didn't have enough about them. They had this weak underbelly. Now, they're solid as a rock. We're mocking them for that as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hypocrisy about this, and sour grapes in my mind, because Arsenal have found a way to win the title. And is it pretty? No. Do they care? They shouldn't. No one should care. And when I look at Chelsea, I want Chelsea to be a little bit more like Arsenal, because Chelsea used to be like that. I'm not saying, in-game management, there's ways of managing a game, and there's a lot of talk about time waste. Arsenal are brilliant at it. The Housery, they are the best out there, going down with head injuries. Trossard getting concussed twice, going over against Wolves. He plays the next week, right? But there's a referee in the middle. Yeah. He's got 2 cards and a whistle. It's his job. If he feels as though they're wasting time, if he feels as though they're going down with 1-2 more injuries, he's got a watch on his wrist. Add time. Yeah. It's as simple as that. Yeah. There's ways around it. Arsenal are just finding a way, and they're frustrating a lot of teams at the moment.
It's a bit rich, isn't it? Because what he's done, Arteta, is remodel himself. He tried for a long time to play Pep Guardiola at his own game. He was seen as being... at one point he was, though. Yeah. At one point he was seen as being like a B-Tech version of Guardiola, a Pep light. Yeah. He was seen as being that.
He was getting tagged with that,
and they were getting done, and they were getting done.
Yeah.
He's now thought of another way to combat Guardiola, and he succeeded in the way that Conte did, in the way that Klopp did. Arteta's come up with an answer. I don't know why we're being negative about it. Okay, it's quite an ugly answer, but we don't have a God-given right to be entertained by Arsenal. No. He has a responsibility to win the league for his team.
There's a lot of snobbery.
He's going to do it.
There's a lot of snobbery about this. Yeah. Now, I played against Wimbledon, the crazy gang.
Yeah.
That's right? What Arsenal and everyone, but there's different ways. There's no right or wrong way of playing football. Yeah. The only way to play football is winning football, and that's what Arsenal were doing. Yeah. And I want Chelsea to be a little bit more like Arsenal.
Being robust, which is what Arsenal are. They might have taken it to the extreme, but being a robust football team is almost always a prerequisite of being a good football team. Yeah. If you can be bullied, you won't win games of football. Yeah. We've seen Arsenal know that all too well as well.
Yeah. Look at you two singing off the same hymn sheet about Arsenal. I know you're fair, but I didn't expect that, I have to say.
I want more Housery. I want Chelsea. We're not streetwise.
No.
Against Arsenal the other week, when they're grappling, we could have had a couple of penalties, right? I genuinely feel Valverde looked at it, but they got away with it. Look, bully for them. Well done, you. Yeah. I want Chelsea to be a look, and if there is someone holding you, go down. Bring it to the referee's attention. Yeah. Don't try and fight.
Yeah. Do you know what? I love that about you, Jace. You've always had that position, and I've felt the same way. You've got way more skin in the game, though. So if I say something, I'll get crucified. I love that you say that. I love that you say, buy the foul, look for the foul. I think that's amazing.
Nothing wrong with cheating.
No,
within the realm.
You can get away with
within the realm. Like I always thought it was an art form in the way that Michael Owen would initiate contact, in the way that Raheem Sterling would initiate contact. Look, I thought what Harry Maguire did, he took it to the extreme. Did you see Harry Maguire the other day? That was just crazy. Like he took it.
That's not doing it.
That
well.
wasn't.
They're
that
all
wasn't
at
being
it, Raw.
clever.
But Raw, they're all at it.
Yeah, but
they are all at it.
They are.
Arsenal are just better at it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the truth.
Master the dark arts.
Yeah. Absolutely. They don't break the rules. They don't cheat. They bend the rules.
And play within, like maximise them as well. Which is what they did for years under George Graham. And from my understanding, it's what they did for years under Herbert Chapman. It's just part of who they are. When you win, sometimes you win ugly.
To be fair, good for them. Yeah, I'm with you both. Right, Rory, you hear me mention at the top of every show, this is brought to you by TalkSport Bet. Have you had a chance to check them out yet?
Yeah, I have, mate. Yeah. And more importantly, I've checked out the welcome offer. It is actually ridiculous.
It really is. And I'll tell you guys exactly what that is. It is bet £10 and get £40 in free bets, not up to £40 in free bets, and you've just got to go to www.talksportbet.com/studsup, and we'll put the link in the description as well.
Mate, it's one of those. If you are betting anything this weekend, whatever you are thinking of doing, you basically have to do it this way. You bet a tenner, you get £40 free bets.
That's unreal. Well worth snapping up, and I'll tell you the URL again. It's talksportbet.com/studsup. 18 plus, obviously, and gamble responsibly. Now let's get back to the chaos. Okay, let's talk about Manchester United. We have to talk about it. The bubble burst.
Ursula, sorry.
Oh my God.
Sorry, mate.
You know what? It's been a while. It's been a while, so I'm okay. I'm gonna let that slide.
Here's a question for you.
Go on.
Why didn't Bruno play? Why didn't he? Why?
Oh, Gamesh.
Yes. No. You're Bruno.
What are you talking about?
Why didn't he play?
He assisted.
Why didn't he?
No, he assisted. He assisted. He assisted. Sorry. Sorry, I've got it in my back pocket. He assisted. And not only did he assist, he's now one away from David Beckham.
Why didn't he play?
One away from David Beckham, Rory. And you brought him up this week. He's one away from David Beckham's best ever season for assists. What do you mean?
What does that mean?
It is what it is. That's it.
Better than
That's the
Beckham,
statement in
is it?
isolation.
Better than Beckham.
It's a conversation.
No, it isn't.
It's a conversation. How can it not be?
Oh my God!
How can it not
Beckham
be?
was your best player the year you won the treble.
Do you know there's only three
Beckham
players?
should have won a Ballon d'Or the year you won the treble.
Yeah, look, great, fantastic,
Come on,
fantastic.
he
Beckham.
should. Come on,
Fantastic.
Come
He
on.
lost out to Rivaldo, and Rivaldo got knocked out of the cup by Man United.
Listen, Beckham is one of my heroes. I'm saying that.
Can't
And
honestly
Bruno is not one of my heroes. Okay, so that is the statement
Bruno's
for
a lot
you
better
to
footballer than
digest.
Beckham,
But
mate. That's
hold
just
on, there's 3 players in Man United's history that have got 100 assists. And
Don't
100
care
goals.
about your stats.
Wayne Rooney.
I never want to hear them. I
David
don't care
Beckham,
about them. I don't care.
Bruno
They mean
Fernandes.
nothing to me.
Hey, this
I
is
could
what
give you
happened.
I could give you a load of stats.
Why'd you get so triggered by Bruno?
Because I get triggered by stats. Because I could provide you with stats.
What-
that would say that Marcus Bent is a better centre forward than Didier Drogba.
Yeah, I'm sure you could, but
could.
but I'm not talking XG here and
you're talking stats.
expected tackles per
No, you're
game.
talking
I'm
stats.
talking goals and assists. Okay, and he's got
Is
100
Darren- is
of
Darren
both
Bent,
of them.
Is Darren Bent a better centre forward than Dennis Bergkamp?
They were different players, though, weren't they? They were different players.
Is he a better striker than Dennis Bergkamp?
No.
I'm not sure Bergkamp was a striker. He was a bit.
Yeah,
of a
he was.
ted,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
they're different
he was a
players.
bit of a
But
ted.
I take your point. I know what you're saying. But Bruno Fernandes, anyway, he got an assist. He's one away from David Beckham.
Right.
But what we're going to talk
What did
about.
Beckham win that year, by the way?
I don't know.
He won the treble.
He won the treble that year. However, it is what it is. It's not Bruno's fault. He's nearly equalled Beckham. So we're going to talk about Manchester United, but we're going to talk about something that, I'll be honest with you, grinds my bloody gears. It does. Is the former players coming out and saying negative things when Manchester United are doing well or they're not doing well or whatever. They get far too involved. And I'm talking about Paul Scholes. And I've essentially probably written off the idea of ever getting a signed Paul Scholes shirt, okay? Because that is what I want. But what I'm going to say here is he put something up on Instagram and it reads like this. It says, Michael has definitely got something special about him because United have been crap the last 4 games. Night. And then underneath it, he's put Tonali with a love heart emoji.
He loves Tonali though. He's always said that Tonali's the best midfielder in the
Why
league.
have you? What's wrong?
Can I-
Sorry, hold on.
Can I just
What's
show
your
you?
problem with that?
What? Well, I'll tell you what the problem is, right?
United have not played well recently.
No,
I'm looking at it here, right? I'm looking at the way. Can we just be sure before we go to town on Scholes, if that's what you're?
I'm not going to go to town because
Can
I
you
love
just
him.
be sure that you're not misunderstanding the intention? Because is it not possible, the way that I've read it, and I could be completely wrong here, he says Michael has definitely got something special about him. United have been crap in the last 4 games. They've won the last 4 games. So is he not saying that Michael has got something special about him? He's won the last 4 games.
But why say that on the back of a loss? That doesn't track with the logic there. I don't understand why he would come out and say that.
Why are you
on the back
bothered?
of a loss. I'm bothered because, right.
I don't get why you're bothered.
Well, I'll tell you why. It is what it is here, right? These players are the best players to have ever played for Manchester United. And Rory, I think you'll agree with me here. If I know you like I think I know you, there's almost a responsibility, an ambassadorial responsibility when talking about Manchester United.
I'm sorry. Are you,
Not dog on them.
why not? He's got a job to do. He
Well,
don't.
hold on. Right. Carrick has come in and he's been a breath of fresh air. We can all agree with that. He got 19 points from 21 before yesterday. Why come out and say a statement? He's taken a picture of black text. It sounds like a bitter ex talking about, yeah, I've had exes do this about me. Take a black picture and then go, blah, 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 Tonali, love heart. Well, I just don't, I love Scholesy and it hurts, right? I just don't understand why you would feel the need to contribute to any kind of misery that we've dissipated recently. Why would you feel the need to get that going again with a statement like that? Knowing, Jace, and this is the part, knowing it's going to get picked up by media outlets. It really just feels like he's trying to be relevant. And
Well, he is relevant.
No, but he's not at the moment, though.
Well, he is.
He's not playing for Manchester United.
People listen to what Paul Scholes says.
Yeah,
People
so
listen to what
exactly?
Roy Keane says
Exactly.
because of what he's
proved my
achieved
point.
in the game. Yeah, but take it. Tonali, he obviously loves Tonali.
Yeah, he loves
What's
Tonali.
wrong with that? You can see
It's a
actually.
bit weird, guys.
What?
Why would you put Tonali?
Why are you
with
so
a
upset?
heart? It's a bit weird. Though.
He has got.
Is that not a bit weird?
He had quite a big argument or debate on the overlap where he was arguing that Tonali was better than Rice, better than Bruno Fernandes.
I love Tonali.
He was arguing that Tonali is the most gifted midfielder in the Premier League. That's part of the rationale as to
Paul
why
Scholes
he's celebrating.
sees through his own midfielder's eyes.
Yeah.
He picks up on the little nuances that other players might not. He'll watch his game. He probably recognises a little bit of himself.
Skill in Tonali.
Yes, in Tonali. And I think that there's nothing wrong with appreciating what other teams have got. And by the way, they did win Newcastle.
Yeah, I know.
So,
But he. Hold on a second, though. You don't think it's a bit weird that Michael Carrick's won all these games, right? And Manchester United lose, and he's straight on it with, we've been crap the last 4
United
games.
haven't. They've not. United. The results have been better than the performances, and that's fine at this stage of the season.
Why? But the language choice there.
You didn't beat 10 men.
No, I look, that was a terrible result. It was a terrible result. We lost a world class goal.
Can I ask you on this? Obviously, look, you've been in dressing rooms, you've got ex-teammates and whatever. It seems like, and if Ryan's reading of this is correct and mine's wrong, and I think most people agree with Ryan, that he has it in for Carrick a bit. He's having a pop at Carrick the first time it's gone wrong.
There may well have been some personal issues.
They won a European Cup in midfield together.
Yeah, doesn't mean
No, I don't think it's
doesn't
personal.
mean that.
I don't know. Only he can answer that.
No, but it could be a world where the I don't know.
I just question the timing on that. I just really don't understand what that does. To what end was that? I just really don't get it.
The end would be his opinion. Did you? No, but you know when you say to what end? You know when you say to what end?
Yes. I don't
know if you're on Twitter, but you're well within your rights, aren't you? After the back of a Manchester United game, to give your opinion, to express your opinion, in the way that last night, I'm sure, well over 1 million Manchester United fans would have said something about the game in public. Paul Scholes is entitled to do the same thing.
He absolutely is. But my point on this is we talked about whether we'd give Carrick a contract. We had this debate last week. I think it's really important for Manchester United fans, which I assume Paul Scholes is, to protect Carrick right now. He's the interim. He's got a job till the end of the season to get top 4.
It's not his job.
No, it's Carrick's job. Sorry.
No, it's not Scholes' job.
No, not Scholes' job. No, what I'm saying is, it's Carrick's job to get Champions League football. I think it's
You think Scholes has a responsibility to...
You know, Jace, that his opinion carries weight.
But that's his opinion. So you're saying he shouldn't voice it?
I'm saying, well, not in the way that he did. On a black background, text slanted like a bitter ex.
Xi Jinping?
I just think
You're
it's
an
weird.
emperor?
I think you're looking a bit too deep.
I think it's maybe I am. Well, I think
You're
it's
only
weird.
allowed to voice your opinion if it's one I agree with.
No, from the Rory Jennings playbook, by the way.
He hasn't taken that defeat well, has he?
Oh, God.
He hasn't taken it well.
Well, you know what? I'm going to move on from Man United swiftly and gladly.
You know what? You've been very unlucky here. Because basically, you found 2 people that disagree with you. The world agrees with you.
Yeah.
Everyone I've seen speak about this agrees with you.
I don't
and
know.
you managed to come into a room and lose.
It's back to normal this week.
It's the only room where you wouldn't win this argument. Everyone else thinks Scholes is out of order.
How's your look?
And we've managed to argue it the other way.
How is your look? Right, as I say, I'm moving on swiftly. It's Cheltenham next week. I don't know if you know that. There is a Cheltenham special, Hooves Up, brought to you by Studs Up, coming out and coming your way soon. Do you want a chance to win 2 club tickets to the Gold Cup Day? Of course you do. What you need to do is you need to comment on this YouTube video, on the full episode, with who you think the most underrated player is at your club. That's what it is, and why. And we're going to have a look, and we're going to give 2 tickets away to whoever. Well, the best answers. I'm going to put it that way. I might even have a look myself. So, comment who you think the most underrated player is on this video, and we'll give you 2 club tickets to Gold Cup Day. That's all you've got to do. So, terms and conditions apply, of course, but all you need to do is comment. So, get those comments in. As I move on, and I've done this beautifully, by the way, to comment of the week. Can we get the comment of the week jingle?
Here we go.
Studs Up comment of the week. Little line of text haunting me. Hey!
It's a tune. No,
it's a tune.
Is that right on my street, that as well? You know, like a power ballad. Female vocalist. Love it.
It's a tune. Right, okay. Here we go. We've got, who is this? Tim Gunner.
One of Reece supports.
Actually, no, I don't know. Maybe that's just an unfortunate surname. But at Chelsea Rory, talking about Michael Carrick and whether you should give him the contract, speaking sense all day. I'm a red and I agree with everything you've said, Flower. I don't know why I said that. For any team in the Prem to go unbeaten like Carrick has, obviously, this is up until yesterday, which was me and Jace's point, by the way, to get the best out of them is more than just confidence and more than just playing a back 4. What do you think to that, Jace? Do you think that there's still any sense to giving him a contract?
No.
He says he's speaking sense all day.
No, I just stick by what you've done. Look, how do they recover? Everything's been going rosy for Carrick, right? I saw this exactly same thing with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. There will be bumps in the road. Nothing is plain sailing. How do they react, Carrick, to a bump in the road? To lose to 10 men against a Newcastle side that haven't had their best season by any stretch of the imagination, it's actually a terrible defeat.
Yeah.
How do they react? Because sometimes you can find out a little bit more about teams, managers, players after defeat when things are going well. And actually, I saw the game against Palace. Man United didn't play well.
No.
The red card and penalty changed the whole course of that game. And in the end, they got over the line. What happens now? Now, you got 3 weeks off, right? Because you lot decided to duck out the FA Cup, right? There's an international break.
Yeah.
You lot now got your feet up for 3 weeks. So there's a long time between now and when they play next, okay? He can afford, Carrick, to play the same team. Manchester United are going to play a maximum of 40 games this season. Last season, Chelsea played 68.
Yeah.
That gives you some idea of the toll on the squad and what happened last year for Chelsea and what's only going to have 40 games for a team like Man United. That is disgusting.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's disgusting.
Yep.
And he's now got to find a way to get this team back. I don't doubt that he'll do it. You've got so much time off. Put your feet up, lads. Go and enjoy yourself. See you in 3 weeks.
So have that, Tim Gunner. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it. But fair play, and thanks for your comment. We've got Mighty Nez here, quickly. He said, no contract for heaven's sake. Let us not jinx this. There's no rush to sign. Where are you, Rory? Would you give him a contract
I think
now?
he deserves a contract. Losing, well, it's one defeat. Since he came in, you would be very happy if it was one defeat. Yeah. So overall, I think Jason's right though. You earn your money when things are going wrong, not right as a manager. So let's see what happens next game.
There we go. Okay. And the comment of the week goes to it's Yorkie MUFC. Fully grown adults arguing about another man's job, by the way. And that's comment of the week.
Studs up, comment of the week. Little line of text haunting me. Hey!
He's right. He's right. That is
Well,
essentially summed up what we do for a
I
living.
don't think arguing was quite. I think debating. Maybe.
Oh, well, it's never an
I
argument.
think you and I
don't
might
think
have
I-
actually had an argument.
We
last
have an
week.
argument,
But
didn't we?
yeah, I
Okay,
think we
fair
did.
You got heated last week, didn't it? No, well done, Yorkie MUFC. You're absolutely right. And I've made a campaign to make that the tagline for Studs Up because that is absolutely bang on. Quickly then, boys. We've got the Studs Up ACCA here.
Yep.
Last week it came in.
Yes,
it came in
did.
12 to 1. We've done it again. 12 to 1.
Unreal.
We're doing well, aren't we? We're doing well. There's some good results in there. Let's whiz through these. It's FA Cup weekend. I've been allocated Fulham versus Southampton. This will be available on site and on the app as well. Fulham versus Southampton. I don't want to go for the low-hanging fruit here, but you just fully would expect Fulham to get through this. Albeit they wobbled. They have wobbled midweek. I'm going to say Fulham beat Southampton, but I'm going to go by a scoreline of 2-1, boys. That's what I'm going to do, so let's lock that in. Jace, you've been given... interesting. Port Vale versus Sunderland. That's what you've been given. So where do you want to go with this one?
I'm going to go for Sunderland to get over the line. Port Vale. When you get a team that's lower leagues playing against the Premier League side, their season is safe. Sunderland, they'll have enough. I think they'll concede.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 Sunderland.
Oh, another 2-1. Here we go. This will be like the Sunday the other day. 2-1, 2-1. Leeds, Norwich. You've been given. Rory, where you going?
I think Leeds will win at home.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I think when you think about how well their season has gone, they are safe now. They won't be relegated.
Yeah.
This is. They won't.
Don't know, Raw.
Spurs will be
won't.
over
Raw.
there, innit?
Tottenham.
Don't know,
They
matey.
won't. Okay,
Yeah.
look, there's a chance. They're probably one win away, 1 or 2 wins away from safety.
Okay. I don't think they'll go down, but
I think they
they're-
can focus on a nice cup run. And do you know there's a weird hatred between Norwich and Leeds. When Leeds were at their lowest ebb, Norwich were nicking a lot of their players.
Yeah.
So I think Leeds will use this as an opportunity.
So they'll win. What you going
Yeah,
for?
I'll go Leeds win 3-0.
3-0. Okay, there we go. There's the Studs Up ACCA. It's Fulham, it's Sunderland, and it's Leeds to win 3-0. That'll be available on site and on the app as well. And we might even boost it for you like we did last week, which came in. So listen to what we're saying, will you? Right, I've given us literally 2 minutes to do the Mount Rushmore because we are the home of the Mount Rushmore. We've gone for Prem players of the season so far. That's what we're going to do.
Easy, isn't it?
It's easy, is it?
It's easy.
So you want Rice on there?
Well, Declan Rice goes in immediately.
Okay.
Rice probably wins Player of the Year.
Okay, so
Probably.
I'll go Rice as well. Can go on there. Okay.
Do you not think the second one is the obvious one as well?
Of course, Bruno Fernandes. Should we get him on?
I think it's an Arsenal.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
just
yeah.
going to go Gabriel, Arsenal centre half.
Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah, can't disagree with that. as well.
Gabriel, we're going to put Gabriel on.
Now we can debate a bit, I think.
Well, there's
Those
no
two
debate.
are in.
Bruno's got to go on there. Most assists in the league. 7 goals so far.
Look,
There's no debate. I'm locking him in, boys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. There's no way you can have this one over me.
Erling Haaland's scored 1 billion goals, and Morgan Rogers has been unreal.
yeah,
Man of the year, Erling Haaland's not been very good, though.
No, but he's still
I
scored.
think Erling Haaland's got to go in.
He's got to go in.
Yeah, I think so. Just because he will eventually, his goals will pick up again. He has had a little bit of a barren
Going to
spell.
win the Golden Boot, no matter what.
Come on.
Yeah,
He's
okay.
got-
All right. Listen, fine. This is how it
And
reads.
Morgan Rogers.
Morgan Rogers. Where was he yesterday? Okay, we're going to go Rice, Gabriel, Bruno Fernandes, and Erling Haaland for the Premier League players of the season so far. Mount Rushmore. Let us know in the comments what you think. Did we get it wrong? Did we get it right? Is the ACCA on tune? We won last week. Will you be back in it this week? And of course, if you want those 2 club tickets to the Gold Cup Day, tell us who your most underrated player is. We're going to handpick the winner and give you 2 tickets. So there we go. Lads, thank you very much.
Thank you, boys.
Another week
Have a
of
good week.
Studs Up. As I say every week, the good thing about Studs Up is we will be back next week. Take care.